Most people are going to tell you that they can think for themselves. And to suggest that they're incapable of creating their own ideas, you're going to be met with an overwhelming attitude to the contrary. All of their successes and experiences and intelligence give a sense of independence. And they will mistakenly believe that their belief systems is of their own making. Unfortunately for them, we all know that it's not. A fundamental concept to creating the life that you desire is to create a belief system that works for you. And contrary to what most people think, our belief systems are shaped by the influences that surround us. Our teachers, parents, friends, coworkers, the institutions that we attend, they all have input into the beliefs that we live by. For example, have you ever taken the time to notice how young children's ideas often reflect those of their parents or guardians or any of the adults that are around them the most? This is so common that political organizations will purposefully poll school children during presidential elections because they accurately reflect the sentiment of the adults in their lives. The governments of the world are masters at shaping the belief system of its people. Though through the use of propaganda, public opinion is swayed based upon the desires of those in power. This is often done in the name of nationalism. A group of people is established as a threat to the society. Events are shown to validate this viewpoint while creating the emotional dislike towards that group. Thus, the government is now free to act as it sees fit with the full support of the people. Unfortunately, most people do not have firsthand experience to form a solid conclusion. So, of course, they are going to defend what they think they believe, even though they're not certain where those beliefs are actually coming from. It's actually pretty common for people and organizations to manipulate others' beliefs just for the sake of having control. The government is one example. Some religions throughout history have acted in a similar manner. They use the threat of an angry deity and eternal damnation to control the masses. There were numerous instances where the Church of England was the most powerful organization in Europe with a following that is under control. It's much easier to maintain the influence. So, naturally, there are many denominations where this is not the case. So, too, are there many people whose lives are enhanced by their religious affiliation. Unfortunately, this is not true in all instances. The key to a belief system is creating one that works for you. As an adult, you have the freedom to believe anything that you desire. Spending time questioning where some of your beliefs came from is a very healthy thing to do. It's also effective to determine whether they'll still work for you in the future. If they assist you into being happy, joyous, and free, then they're worthwhile. However, when they instill pain, perhaps it may be time for you to rethink your ideas. Ironically, the beliefs that seem to cause the most chaos in people's lives come from those who love us the most. Many individuals suffer from psychological disorders due to the influences of their parents and guardians and any adult who was around during the most crucial times of their upbringing. Things such as low self esteem, abandonment, and sexual issues all come from our upbringing. Typically, one who suffers from any of these was made to feel guilty and shameful. Their worth is shown to be tied to their performance, which they were made to believe was never good enough. Mistakes were not forgiven, but something to be dug up and used as a weapon to make the other person feel even worse after they've made a mistake. All of this was done as a form of control. Leap forward about 20 years, and you'll find that a person who grew up in this type of atmosphere often still carries these same beliefs. Even though recent experiences will prove to the contrary, the individual still hears the words that their parents or guardians instilled in them when they were younger. It affects the relationship with friends, lovers, coworkers, and yourself. Without some help, the person is often incapable of healthy interaction with other people. There's a degree of sickness in all that's done. Thus, the individual turns to other things to fill that void that exists, be it drugs, alcohol, sex, food, whatever. However, if the belief system was viewed as insane, the person might be apt to change it. Simply altering a few of the basic beliefs that one holds regarding oneself miraculously changes their lives. A belief system is nothing more than a thought that you've thought over and over again. Once we begin to take the time and learn to accept that it's more than likely the things that we believe came from outside sources, the better our chances are of attaining freedom from those limiting beliefs. There are many things that were taught to us by others growing up which don't serve us well, and then there are things that were taught to us which do serve us well. And this is especially true if we were raised in a loving home. However, society being as selfish as it is, there is much that stands in our way of happiness. Analyzing our belief system gets to the root of what motivates us. A system that contains a great deal of fear will cause one to often act out of that fear. The opposite is also true. To create our lives that we want, it begins with us creating our own belief systems that work best for us.